Morning YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Well, I've had a few requests of people asking me how I do skin and hair. So a quick disclaimer before we get started on this beautiful picture by Lazareva, and it's from Elegant Beauties, is I am by no means the best person you are going to find to follow on YouTube to colour skin. But as I've had it requested, I thought I would go ahead and do it with you. We might learn together, and I might learn a few things along the way too. So, as always, I'm going to start with her skin, and then I'm going to colour her hair. Now I'm going to give her black hair. So, because I'm going to be using black to colour her hair, I'll do that after the skin's complete. I probably would do that anyway, regardless of what colour hair I'm using. So today I'm going to be using the polychromos because I just like the way the skin tone comes out better than the prismas. Now this might be mixed. I might use prismas and polys, so forgive me if I mix them up, but it's just how I'm finding my way with it. So the first thing, the first pencil I'm going to use is beige red. You'll know it as Flesh, I think. Are we focusing? Yeah, beige red, 132. So if you've got, let's refocus. If you've got the older polychromos, yours will be known as light flash. So we're going to move in slightly and then I'm going to get started. Okay, let me find the zoom button. Okay. So all I'm going to do is literally coat all her skin in this light flash to give me a base coat. So I'm just going to turn the page round. So while I'm filling this in very lightly, it's the usual cardstock that I use. You'll find it in a link in many of my Colour With Me videos. I wanted to mention a subscriber called Mary. Mary's from America, and I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning her. But she specifically asked me to do skin and hair because she said she found getting the tones quite difficult. However, I have seen a link to some of her Facebook completed pictures and she colours brilliantly, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to teach her that much. But if you're watching, Mary, hello, and thank you for contacting me. It was really nice to have your lovely email. And here is that requested tutorial. Well, I don't do tutorials because I don't consider myself of a level to be able to teach people how to do it. But more of a social thing where you can colour with me and we learn together. So I'm just, I hope my hand's not in the way, I'm just giving really lightly a very light coat of this light flesh colour, or beige red they call it, really lightly. And as with the polys, there's no point in pressing hard or trying to rush it. You're going to have to layer it up. So we're just going to have to do this very slowly and carefully. And ALENA'S pictures are just superb for teaching you skin because of the grayscaling on them. So you can see where, like here, can you see? Let me move her back down. Like here, around here where the shadow's going to be. In there underneath her hair, and you can even see the shadow where her pigtails are falling down her back. So it's a really great one. So I'm just filling that in really lightly. And it takes some time with polys, so you just have to be patient. And if you're not patient, you could use prismas, and I'd probably be going in with light peach or even deco peach to give it a base here. So I'm hoping that you can pick this colour up, because it's barely showing at the moment. It will when the layers build up. So I got this this image from Etsy as part of the book. I'll put a link in the description so that if you want to have a go at doing it too, you can purchase it through her website. Hang on, I think my camera's playing up. Give me 1 second. Hi guys, sorry about that. I had a little flashing light come up, so I had to go and look and see what it was, and it was telling me that my memory card was full because, like a bit of a do-but, I hadn't deleted any of the videos that I'd done, so all sorted and correct. Anyway, so I've covered her skin in a very light layer of rosy beige. Did I say rosy beige? No, not rosy beige. Beige red or light flash. And now I'm going to use, where are you? Cinnamon. Come on. There we go. 189. And where Alena's given shadow, that's where I'm going to start putting in the cinnamon. So we'll zoom back in. There we go. And I'm going to start, let's do some in her little ear. And again, very lightly, I'm going to start filling in that space. Around the edge of her ear. One thing I've noticed while I'm doing my videos, I don't know if anybody else does it, but it would appear that when I'm colouring and concentrating, I'm kind of holding my breath. And quite often in my videos you can hear me sort of take a breath out, which I thought was quite funny. Does anybody else do that, or is it just me being weird? Okay, so cinnamon, and I'm just following all the dark lines. I really don't add that much, that many colours when I'm using polychromos to do skin. It just, I just think, I don't know, it gives me, for me, it seems to give a much nicer, natural light skin tone. I haven't yet mastered dark skin tones. But one day, let me move you back down. With practice, I'm sure that I will get there. There's some beautiful images, particularly in Mysteria and Nocturnes, that I would like to colour with darker skin tones. So I'm just, again, filling in where Alena's given us shadow. I mean, yeah. I mean, look at these pigtails, they're just gorgeous. So it's quite a laborious process, but it is very relaxing, particularly when you've figured out the colours you like to use for a skin tone, so you know where you're going and what colours you're using, and you just go with the flow, and it can be really relaxing. And then, so all I do is, I think I've got like 4 or 5 colours, something like that, that I use with polys. And then I just keep going over and building up the layers until I've got it, until I'm satisfied with how it looks. Okay, right, let's have a look at this arm. Gorgeous shading here, look, for us to follow. And you can see that cinnamon colour going down, albeit light, it is there and it's going down. So like I say, it's just a matter of being patient and let the polys do the work for you. I know when I first got polys I thought, oh my god, what is all the fuss about? They don't lay down any colour, you have to press really hard, but you just have to learn that that they will give you a flawless blend and covering if you're just patient with them. And it looks almost like there's nothing happening, but all of a sudden it will come and you'll start to see that build up. Okay, let's go around this arm. Oh, I can't pick the page up. Let's go around here. So we've got shadow around the strap of her dress here. The other thing I find quite good when you're doing skin is when you've done your initial base coat is not to have the sharpest point on your pencil, because it can leave sort of harsh lines, and so it's easier to work with if your pencil's slightly blunter. I do apologise, I keep saying all the time. It's nerves, I think. I think the last video I did was like 5 days ago, and it seems like forever. So I'm feeling a bit nervous, and because again, because I don't feel that confident in showing you my skin and hair compared to others on YouTube. But people obviously want to see it, and so I'm willing to do that. So if we make a mistake, we can do it together. So I'm just keeping going, building up that cinnamon. And get that lovely sound of the pencil on the page as well with the polys. Listen to that. If you're like me, I'm quite addicted to the sounds of the art makes, like the crinkling of paper once it's been wetted and dried. I like that sound when you turn the page and it's all crinkly. I like working on the other side as well, when you've painted the previous page, and that sound that you get. Okay, so let's come up here. I'm going to put a little bit round here, not much. A little bit round the edge of her, a little bit round the edge of her face. And then I'm just going to go back over that again. And like I say, it's just allowing the polys to build up. A little bit down here. Yeah. And already you can see, with only a couple of light layers, that the cinnamon's doing its job and picking out those deeper areas that we need. Let's do this arm again. That's my dog, you can hear. So my husband went back to work this week, so she's spending all her time up here with me in my little art room. I say art room, it was one of the kids' bedrooms, but they've moved out, and both of them now all grown up and graciously left me my own little art space. So I treasure it. It's my little sanctuary where I can do everything I want to do and have it kept all neat and organised in my own space. I love it. So I have my computer up here while I'm colouring, and I watch many of you guys and many of our big colourists on YouTube. I like watching Ghost Investigations too, that I really enjoy. So I like, if you haven't seen him, Oh My Gosh TV. He does some really good, family man, but does some really good ghost investigations. CJ Faison used to be a racing car driver. Brilliant, I love him. And there's another guy that I've just found recently, how I missed him I don't know, called Franco TV, and oh my goodness, he does like urban exploration, and it terrifies me watching it, but it's very addictive. He just visits abandoned properties and honestly gets himself into some scrapes, but it's such good fun. So that's what I do while I'm colouring. I have that kind of thing playing in the background. Obviously lots of colouring tutorials, art channels, and I'm able to do that in peace in my own little colouring sanctuary. Have any of you guys got your own colouring space, or do you have to share with people? Okay, so cinnamon. Now I'm going to go back in with the 189, oh so, yeah, sorry, 132 beige red, and do another layer again over the top of that and over the entire thing. This will help build up, can you see? This will help build up those layers and blend in that little bit of cinnamon. So now you can see, well, I hope you can. Now you can see the colours really start to pick up. Just around here. Okay, what I think I might do now then is, thinking about the length of this video, is do with you her face, show you what colours I'm going to use, and then go off camera and finish the rest of her, because it'll all be done the same, and then we can meet back up and we'll start on her hair then. That sounds like a plan. Okay. Some more of the light flesh, or beige red. Keep letting those layers build up. Okay, I'm going to go back in with cinnamon and go back over the places that we went before. Okay, so I'll just keep her face in, I'll just keep doing her face, and we'll get that done together, and then like I say, the rest will be exactly the same. Just keep layering up until you get the colour that you want, and it really doesn't take that much, to be honest. It's just about being patient and letting, like I say, letting the polys do their job for you. Here we go, it's starting to build, look. Okay, right, now another one that I like to use, I do use the medium flash but quite sparingly, but the other one I quite like using is Venetian red. Let's see if I can pick that colour up for you. Venetian red 190. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to go over it really lightly with this Venetian red where I'd put in the cinnamon, and that will just deepen that up, but like I say, quite sparingly. Don't go pressing hard, and I'm just going to use that for the deepest of areas. So like here in particular, the shading around her chin is quite dark, so we can add that Venetian red in there. You see? And then just a tiny bit around her face, around the edge of her face. And it will seem like, oh well, it's not doing anything, but it does. Around her ear. Can you see? Yeah. Around her ear. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of medium flash. Where are you there? Are you going to focus for me? There we go. Medium flash. I can't see what colour that is. Give me a second. 131 medium flash. And I'm going to go back over those dark spaces with this. Quite sparingly again. You don't need an awful lot, because the colours are really beginning to pick up now. Okay. Now sometimes I find that this can make the face, or make the skin rather, a little orange, so I've got a little trick we can try in a minute if we feel that that's the case. Okay, back in with light flash. And blend all those back in together. Yeah. I don't feel that it's coming out too orange at the minute, but one of the colours that you can use if you have done skin and you think, oh gosh, she looks like orangey red, one of the colours that you can use, let me find it 1 second. If you look at my The Imaginary World of Jane F. Hankins, I show it in that video, and it really works, and it's a Prisma. Why is this not focusing? Can you see that? And it's 289 grey green light, I think it's called, 289. And if you put a tad of that, like I might try it here in a minute, over where it looks too red, it will tone it down. I know it sounds ridiculous putting green over your image, but it's all, you know, one of those toned hint of colours, and it really works. Obviously, if you're just doing it lightly, you're not going to go down, press hard on it. So we'll try that in a minute, and I'll show you. It just takes out that red hue and gives it a more of a natural skin tone. Okay, let's try that here. On this little bit here, might be a bit orange, so I'm using that 289, that grey green light, and I'm just going to very lightly, if I go over that, you'll see it start to tone down the redness. You see? And we've just lost that overly orange, almost like fake foundation look. Do a little bit here. very lightly. Round your chin. And it really, really works. I'm barely touching it, but it really works. And then we'll go back in with light peach. Oh, sorry, light peach. That's what I'd be using if it was Prisma. Beige red or light flash, and go over that again. And you can just see that orange reddy tone disappears. It neutralises it completely. So it's a really good tip. And you're left with a really nice natural tone on the skin. Okay, and then I'm going to use Ivory 103, and I'm going to go over where the lighter parts of her skin would be, so around here on her cheek, and over, blend it in. Little bits around the top of her ear. Perfect. And then one final touch again, back in with the beige red. I love working with these. I've hated them for such a long time, but they just take practice, and I'm beginning to get the hang of using them, and they're just beautiful for skin. I love them. There we are. And then just keep layering until you've got the colour that you're happy with the skin tone. It's very difficult to tell you how many layers or when to stop, but I can only show you what I've used and hope that that helps in some way. Right, and just make sure everything's blended. Okay, there's her skin, and that's literally all I'm going to do. I might build up some more layers if I want the skin a little bit deeper, but that's as far as I'm going. As far as I go at the moment. So what I'm going to do is go off camera and finish the rest of her body and shoulders in exactly the same way as I've just shown you up here. Deeper lines with the cinnamon and that tiny bit of Venetian red, using the grey-green light if you find that the skin tone is becoming too orange. So I'll go off and do that, and then we'll meet back up and we'll start on these beautiful plaits. Okay, I'll see you in a second, guys. Okay guys, so I finished the skin. It's actually the next day because I got distracted and have to go off and do stuff with the dog. But I finished her skin, and I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. Perhaps a pencil dust there. So we're going to tackle this hair, and as I mentioned yesterday, it's really easy. Well, it makes it easier to get the hair right, because Alena's given us the shading where we need the dark, and she's left the patches where we need the highlights. So I did some practicing as usual, because as you know, I've said, if you've followed me, that I am still learning, and I don't want to come on the channel and do something that just looks horrendous. So I've been practicing, and actually did quite a few different colours of hair there, but I wanted her to have black hair. So this is the combination I've come up with. And it is a combination of mostly polychromos, but I'm using a white Prisma and a black Prisma too. So let's zoom in, and we'll get started. Okay, let's move my junk out of the way. There we are. Hang on, let me get you right. There we go, that's better. Now I can colour without being hindered by anything. Okay, so the first colour I'm going to use, which you're going to think I'm nuts, but it's Cobalt Blue 143, and I'm going to do a light coat of this where we want the highlights to be. So as you can see here, it's pale here, and I'm just going to put in some linear strokes. Doesn't have to be blended or look fantastic. And I don't know if you've ever studied really black hair, but there is this tinge of blue on the inside of it when it catches the light. So that's why I'm putting this blue in. So just quite lightly, just to give it a hint of colour. So that's the Cobalt Blue. Then I'm going to go in with Warm Grey 4. Can you see that? Can you see? Warm Grey 4 273. And where we're given the shade, I'm going to start putting that warm grey in. And I'm just putting my pencil where I want the line to start. And then I'm just using flicking strokes upwards, so you get a feathery effect towards the edge of your design, where you want the lines to stop rather. Okay, so I'm putting my pencil here, and turn the page if it helps, because I find actually that it's easier to flick upwards than it is to come down. So you might want to spin your page around to help you. That helps me. So we're going in here, I'm going to put my pencil where I want my stroke to start, and then just start flicking it up. And this is just going to help to transition from the black when we put it in into the highlighted area. So do a bit more here. And I'm not pressing hard, I'm just getting the colour down on the page. There. Okay. So that was our warm grey. Now I'm going to start with the black. So I'm going in with Polychromos Black, which is 199. I'll bring it up, can you see? Black 199. There we are. Okay, and then I'm going to start filling in the black, but I'm not going to come up as far as the grey at the moment. So I'm going to turn the page so it's comfortable, put my pencil where I want to start with the flicks, and bring it up. And it won't look great to start with. We're going to have to build this up. So don't despair and give up like I do. Just keep layering it up, and it will happen. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm still learning about all these processes, and so I'm you know, this is not going to turn out like a professional artist, because I'm certainly not that. I'm just somebody that has a passion about doing colouring and enjoying it. So but this is the way that I've found works best. Okay, so that's our Polychromos Black gone in. Now I'm going to take the Prisma Black, which is PC 935, and I'm going to go over that, because this is far more opaque than the Polychromos Black, and you'll start to see that colour build. And just the same as we did before, just gently flicking it in. We can go over and over and over it until we're content, as long as we're not pressing down too hard. And then around the top part. So putting the pencil where you want it to start and flicking it down. There we are. So that's the Polychromos Black. Now I'm going to take, there we go, Polychromos Cold Grey 1. Going to focus for me. Doesn't like picking up on the polychromos. There we go. Cold Grey 1230. There we go. And here, where we've got our highlight, I'm going to do, as we did with the blue, some just linear strokes, gently, to start to fill in and blend that space. And you'll see it start to come together there, look. Okay. And then I'm going to take our cobalt blue again, and I'm going to just wash over that because it gets sort of drowned out just very lightly. We only want a hint of it. I was watching Coronation Street last night, and the actress on there that plays Alia has beautiful long black hair, and where the studio lights were obviously shining on it, you could see this blue hue in it. So, okay, back to the Polychromos black, and then we're just going to keep repeating and layering up until we've got the depth of colour that we want, and it looks deep enough for you. And it really is about your own preference. When you think enough is enough, and you've filled in enough of the white space, the paper I'm using, it has got a good tooth on it, so depending on the paper it might not take as long as this to do. Okay, right, I'm going back in with the Prismacolor black. Checking you're in shot still. Oh, keep losing you. Okay, I'm going back in with the warm grey 4. And I'm not going all the way up into the black, I'm just bringing that in. I don't want any, like, a harsh, thick line of colour. Okay. Then I'm going to take the Prisma White PC938. Refocus. And then I'm just going to lightly go over and blend those in. And it's beginning to come. It will. It's just having the patience. Okay. And then I'm going to start filling in the gaps. And deepening up that black. You've got to remember where the hair's been parted to make this shape, we're going to have deeper dark areas. I'm just going to fill that piece of that page in. Right, I'll go back in with the Polychromos black and just keep playing. And then I'm going in with the lighter of the greys again. Where's that one? Okay, should we do another one? Okay, so cobalt blue polychromos. I'm just going to do some linear strokes to fill that gap in. Okay, there, looks horrendous. Then I'm going to take my warm grey 4 and making sure that you follow like ALENA'S lines, start to fill that in. I could hear myself holding my breath then, or I could hear myself let go of my breath then. I don't know why I do it. I don't know. Just have to hold my breath while I'm concentrating. Okay, there's the grey. That was the dark grey. Then I'm going to come in with the polychromos black. And this is the point normally that I think, oh God, that's it, I've ruined it. But just be patient with yourself and keep going. It will come together. That's where our divisional line's going to be. Blend that in. There we are. Then I'm going to use the Prisma Black. And we're going to put that in. They actually work really well together, the Prisma Black and the Polychromos Black, because they are very different shades. So if you were using all Prisma, you could perhaps use a 90% grey, or the darkest brown we've got, or rather than the Polychromos. And for the blue, if you were using Prismas, you could try Periwinkle. Indigo blue is quite dark, so that might work too. Okay, so that was the Prismacolor black. Now I'm taking the lightest of our greys and doing that blend that we did before on the first piece. Just helps to merge those colours. There we are. Oh, there you go. Then I'm going to flick in a little bit more blue before we repeat the process. A bit more blue. And then add our Prisma white. There we go. And then go back in with the Polychromos black. There we are. Prisma black. tiny bit now of the darkest of our Polychromos grey, grey 4. Just bring out those edges. I'm just going to deepen up around here. Around here. And it is just playing, but like I said before in other videos, I have to learn to to step away because I faff and fiddle and spoil things. I'm just going to blend it again. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Polychromos black. So I'm just playing. Until I think it looks, well, until I'm happy with it. There we are. Some black shiny hair. Let me zoom out. There, okay. Now, we've got a long way to go, but all those plaits are going to be done exactly the same. Well, the rest of her hair is done exactly the same. So you just put your base of cobalt blue down, go in with your dark grey, what did I say, dark grey, then we put in the black, the two blacks, blend it with the white and the pale grey, and just keep repeating it until you've got, until you're happy with, there's a little spot not filled in there, until you're happy with the blend. So I hope that's helped. I'll go off camera, finish the rest of her hair, and then we'll meet up together and we can do the fruit and her dress. I'm thinking of doing in pastels and then colour over them with pencil. Okay, I'll see you in a second, guys. So I'm back, guys. This has taken days to complete. I'll be honest with you, it's been a labour of love. I've enjoyed every minute of it, but it is time consuming. I'm just trying to adjust my light so there's not so much shadow. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So we've got simple hair and simple skin, and we're going to start, I'm sorry, I'm just moving these lights around again. That's a bit better. We're going to start, I'm going to fill the fruit in because before we finish her hair off, if you've noticed I've left a few sections, I want to do the limes, as you can see, and the lemon. I'm doing lemon and limes, and the little cherries, because I don't want the black to smear when we put in the lighter colours. So let's bring in the camera and get going. Okay. Alright, so I've selected to do lime, lemon, and I've left obviously the two blanks so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing them all in Polychromos. So for the lemon, I've got four pencils. Let me line them up so that we're not wasting so much time. And you please excuse my hands. My husband has broken his ribs, and so I've been washing my hands with antibacterial hand wash. They're really dry. I have put some cream on, but they are really dry. Okay, so we've got cadmium yellow. What's that one? Sorry, I can't see like this. Cadmium yellow, light cadmium yellow, cream, and ivory. Right, so this one is yeah, we're going to do 2 lemons, 2 limes. Okay, so we're going to take our cadmium yellow, which is the darkest of all our yellows, and go very carefully around the edge of the lemon. Yeah, so my poor husband fell and broke his ribs, so he's in an awful lot of pain. And so obviously hand washing when you can go into the doctors and the hospitals and things is very important, so my hands are very dry. So I'm going in with Ivory now, checking you're in focus, and I'm going to fill in all the gaps that Alena's left to segment off the lemon pieces. And fill those in. I'm going to go back over, I'm just checking you can see, I'm going to go back over that first yellow we put down. And then I'm taking staying with the dark, I'm going to take the cadmium yellow and I'm going to follow where Alena, let me just put those down, I'm going to follow where Alena has given us the dark, and I'm going to fill that in. I'm just going to sharpen very quickly this pencil because these are tiny spaces. That should do the trick. And I'm just going to fill in the dark places that Alena's given us and go in with that cadmium yellow. Not much at all. I'm just checking you can see. So tomorrow is my birthday, and I've been spoiled, stupid, and I've got some lovely gifts to show you. I'm going to turn that light round. Yeah, and I've got some lovely gifts to show you, so I will be putting that up at some point tomorrow. It's very exciting. I'm sorry, I'm trying to sort this lighting out in here. I'm not sure that you're seeing everything. Okay, so I'm just following Alena's darkest lines with our darkest yellow. I've got quite a bit of shadow in there. There we are. And then I'm taking the light cadmium yellow and I'm going to go over that and bring it out a little bit further. There we are. So not quite the birthday that I was expecting, with my poor husband being in pain as he is, but at least he's at home now, not in, and we thought at one point that he would have to go to hospital. So now I'm going back in with our cream. I'm going over that. I'm going to leave the sections towards the middle lighter. I'm just going to put a touch of that, blend that over, and then I'm going to take the ivory and fill in those spaces that we want left light. There we are. Okay, and I'm going to take the dark one again, our darkest cadmium yellow, and just brighten that back up. And I'm going to take the light cadmium yellow and just give a light colouring in the centre. There we go. Lemons. Okay, limes. Let's do this lime together. Right, so let me line them up. We've got earth green yellowish. I've got light green, and I've got cadmium yellow. Can you see those? Yeah, there you go. Let's refocus. There we go. Right, I'm taking the darkest, which is our earth green yellowish, and I'm going to go round the edge as we did with the lemon to give it that the look of the where the rind is. don't want to get in the way. On the upside, I did get to speak to my little grandson today. He's been diagnosed with autism. He's only a baby, only 3, and but he has started to speak, which is a miracle because we didn't think he would. But so for one of the first times today, I got a "Hi Nana." Oh, and it was so cute. Oh, I could have cried, seriously. He's just adorable. And he's my eldest son's, and he's just doing a fantastic job of bringing him up. He's a lovely little lad. Okay. Now, I'm going in with, cream. I'm going to use cream. Where are you? Are you going to focus for me? There you go. And as we did for the lemon, I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to go back round the edge. We will go back over it so it doesn't look like a lemon. Yeah, so it was heart melting to hear his little voice, and he does say love you now. So my son's been teaching him a few sign languages, and we think that it's taken the pressure out of his speech, you know, concentrating on trying to talk, and so while he's concentrating on his signs, his speech is beginning to come, so which is wonderful. So I'm going back in with our earth green yellowish, and again I'm going to follow ALENA'S lines where she's put all the dark. Such a talented artist, this lady. God, I wish I could draw like this. It just helps to define those segments. Yeah, so it's been pretty traumatic, and it's been 10 days since I last posted a video, and this has been a work in progress in that entire time. Let me try turning that off, if that's helpful. Yeah, this has been a work in progress in that entire time. So I'm sorry, Mary, that you've had to wait so long, but here it is. Okay, right, now I'm going in with light green, which is a really bright colour, so we don't need too much, and I'm going to go back over that, as we did for the lemon, back over that. So I'm really pleased with how the hair turned out. I did practice, obviously. I don't just come on the channel and show you something I haven't worked at, but I was really pleased with how it came out. The combination looks really good. So one thing I wanted to say to you is please use a piece of paper, plain paper, because black polychromos will smear because it is oil based, and you will get it over your page if you don't protect it. But for someone that's learning, I had a lot of fun putting this together, and I'm really quite pleased with how it turned out. Okay, now cadmium yellow lemon, and I'm going to go over those. Not too much because it is quite bright. It's almost like a fluorescent. Just checking you can see my hand in the way. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of the darkest back in this corner here. There we are. Now I'm going to take the ivory and I'm just going to go over all of that. And blend that in. There we are. And I'm going to take the earth green yellowish and go back round the edge again, just to define that colour. There we are. There. Lemons and limes. I think that looks quite sweet. Okay, cherries. Right, I've got 4 colours again. I have got, let me line them up again. Magenta, alizarin crimson even, madder, and dark red. Where are you? There we are. Alright. There, focused. Alright, let's concentrate on these teeny weeny little cherries. I'm going to go in with the darkest colour first so that I don't lose ALENA'S lines. And I'm using the magenta, and I'm going to very lightly fill in where ALENA has given us the shadow. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Yeah. Okay, magenta. Then I'm going in with dark red, and I'm going to go over that and bring it out a little bit further. That. And then I'm going to take madder, and I'm going to do that. Go over. There we are. That. And then the final colour, alizarin crimson, and fill that in. Now, if we want highlights for the cherries, we could put those in with a white gel pen or Posca. Right, I'm just going to go back in and deepen up with the magenta. Fill in that white paper space. Then we're going to go back in with dark red over that and bringing it out. There we are. Then in with madder. I've forgotten which order I'd done it in then. And then the very last colour, fill it in with alizarin crimson. There. There we are, a nice red cherry. Let's do the leaf together, shall we? Okay, so I've chosen, mixed them all up now. I've chosen 2 colours to start with. I've got, where are you? I've got earth green, and I've got earth green yellowish. Let's refocus. And we might try a little bit of permanent green olive too. Right, should we focus? Let's focus on this one because it's a whole leaf. I can show you how I'm going to colour it. So I'm going in with the darkest, which is permanent green, and again I'm following ALENA'S lines. A bit of a darker edge, I'm bringing that in. You see what I'm doing? Let's move it. Okay, not too much to start with. Let's bring some shadow out there. There we are. Then I'm going in with my earth green, and I'm going to bring that out. Going to leave a little section in the centre there. Do the same there. There we are. And then I'm going in with the earth green yellowish. Okay, can't really make those out at the minute, the different tones, but we'll go back in now and deepen up. So back to our permanent green. Now we know where we want to place our colours, we can deepen them up. Bit round here. That. And then the earth green. Bring that out. Come off that. A little bit around here. And then earth green yellowish. Got some ace names, these pencils. There we are. I'm going back in with the earth green. I don't want to lose the definition that we've given it, so I'm just layering it up. I know it's only a little tiny element of the picture, but I've worked so hard on this hair, I don't want to fluff up the leaf now. Back in with permanent green. Deepen up that centre. Deepen up those edges around the top, and come back out where we knew that definition was. Then I'm going to take ivory and I'm just going to give that a quick blend over. So sorry, just in case you've got me on mute. Oh my goodness, come on. Really doesn't like these polychromas. There you go, ivory. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly blend that out. There we go. Let's brush that off. I'm just going to put a little bit of the permanent green back around the top here. Okay, right, the little stalk, permanent green. And then I'm going to go over that with earth green yellowish. There. Okay. Right. I'm going to go off, finish the cherry, finish the other leaves, and then we'll come back and have a look at our dress, which we're going to do quickly with chalk pastel and coloured pencils. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Right, so I finished the leaves, the other cherry, and I'm ready to do her dress. Now I've thought about this, I've tried different combinations of pale pink, pale lemon, but because we've already got the lemon in her, lemon slices on her hair, it just didn't seem to work very well. So I've decided that I'm going to use the same blue that we did in her hair, but because it's chalk, it's not going to come out that dark. I'm not going to use this pencil. I'm going to use the Faber-Castell collection of pastels, and I'm using the cobalt blue, which is what we used in our hair, to give us a pastel base. So I'll bring you in, oh sorry, I'll bring you in a bit closer, there we go, and as you've seen me do before in my other videos, I'm going to scrape some off. I'm going to have to be very careful because of her skin. Polys are quite good though, because they don't pick up the colour like Prismas do. But even so, I would prefer not to get it on her skin if I can help it. So I've put a light dusting of that down. So that's cobalt blue. And then I'm going to take a cotton ball round, and I'm just going to gently work that in, bearing in mind that we don't want it on the skin. So and then I'm going to use a lighter tone blue. I'm just checking you're in shot. I'm going to use a lighter tone blue just to go over and give us the shading. Sorry, because I'm concentrating. And it makes it a very, very quick process and gives you a really nice finish. I've worked so long on this picture and I love it, but I do want to get it up there for Mary, who's been eagerly waiting. And because of all the disasters that have happened so far this month, I haven't managed to get that much colouring done for my pictures of the month this time, and that's my most popular video, so I want to make sure that I have enough to show you all. So I've got to get a wriggle on. So I want to get this picture up and complete for you. So this makes it a really quite an easy process. Now, if you do get it on the page, look, I've just smudged myself. It will just rub out. I'm going to use a piece of paper because I've clearly got some on my hand. I'm just going to protect the page. You could even go in here with a cotton bud. I'm just going to go over there, protecting her arm. There we are. And then I'm going to rub that little bit out where you see that I've gone off the page. Alright. Might need a little bit more. So instead of scraping it, I'm just going to rub it on my I've just rubbed it on the pad, and then I'm just putting it on the paper to make sure that I don't get any major thick blotches. Let's protect our arm again. Okay. I'm going to do the strap in pencil only. Oops. And this little bit in between her hair I'll do in pencil only. If you feel when you're doing it that this might be a little too dark, we could always go in and add a tiny bit of the white chalk, which will, where's my scissors here, which will just help to give that a bit of a blend and tone it down a little if you're feeling it's a bit dark. Oh, that's a horrible squeak, sorry. Okay, a little bit of white, and let's blend that in. If you've got pan pastels, if you're lucky enough to have those, this would just be so easy. Oh, there's a little bit of dress down there. I'll do that in pencil. I'm going to put a little bit of chalk on my pad here. Protect her arm again. I'm not so worried about her hair because we'll be going over that in black, but I really don't want it on her skin. There. Okay. Oh look, I'm covered in it. That's why it was smudging everywhere. I'll take my page again. I'm just going up here. Alright. I'm going to go off and fix that, wash my hands, and I'll come back to you and we'll get the pencil work started. See you in a sec. Okay, the pastel's fixed and we're ready to go. So all I'm going to do is I can't get this cable out my way, sorry. I've selected two colours and I'm going to use the, can you see, is it going to pick that up? There we go, Sky Blue 146, and I'm going to use Ivory. So I'm going to take my page because I don't want to smear her hair. Let's just turn it around. And all I'm going to do with the Sky Blue is I want to cover up the shading that ALENA'S given us and give that the look of being blue. So I'm just going to build up the colour over the top of that. And that's it. Can you see? Yeah. Even out the colour where the chalk might have, that wasn't not particularly the best distribution of chalk I've ever done, I have to say. So I'm just covering up any grey basically is all I'm doing. And that's that. Okay, let's do this big bit. I want to try and keep this video down, and it's going to be an hour and a half I should think, so I want to try and keep it down. I did my last long colour with me video, I did in 3 parts, but as the parts go on they're not as popular, so I'm just going to do it in the one, and if you want to follow along then you've got the whole thing in one video. So I'm literally just very lightly going over ALENA'S markings. Just so it looks blue and not grey. Just check I'm in shot. Okay. Just very simple. That's why I love Alena Lazareva's work, because it makes learning easy and it takes an awful lot of the stress out of your colouring, because once you, like I say, once you selected your colours, in you go, follow the artist's work, and hers couldn't be any easier to work with. It's just a pleasure. Just going to fill that back in. So that is all I'm going to do on the whole thing. On the strap I'm going to, let's do that quickly, oh sorry, Let's get you in shot. I'm going to leave the little dots. And then I'm just going to fill this in with the blue. And the same in between her hair. I've just gone over very lightly with the blue. There we go. Let's fill that strap in. That really makes her hair and the fruit stand out, which is lovely. And you really don't need to do an awful lot of work here at all. It's just build up the colour. Again, letting the polys do their work. Let's do that around here. Because of that grayscaling, it just does it all for you. Just enjoy colouring it in. There we are. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with the rest of the image. Build the layers up with the poly like we did for the skin. And all I'm going to do for these little round dots, I'm going to outline in our blue. Oh, pardon me. And then I'm going to use the ivory and blend that in. Like that. Let's do that one more time, very quick. On the outside. And then blend over with ivory. There. So, there we go. So I'm going to finish that off, finish the pigtails, and we'll come back and we'll have a complete picture. I'll see you very shortly. Okay guys, she's all finished. There she is, the beautiful lady drawn by Alena Lazareva. I've tried to make it as simple as I possibly can. If I can do it as a beginner, then you can do it too. When you let yourself believe that you can. Don't, you know, when you first start these bits of hair, like I showed you at the beginning, you can be a bit overwhelmed and think, oh, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Keep doing it. Gentle layers. Just let it build up. It will work, I promise you. Just keep going at it. I've had so much fun doing this. I hope you enjoy it too. If you liked the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing, and I can get more content out to more people. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. So until tomorrow, when I do my birthday greetings and surprises, I'll see you soon. So take very good care of yourselves. Bye bye.